Well, one, I want to talk about the sister here, Queen's Throne, right? She's been covering the Polite case. Polite got so much heat on him, it's pathetic. But is it deserved? Yes. He did more than get with people basically on his thing was scamming mostly under the guise of pushing knowledge. And what people have to realize is that Dr. York isn't responsible for him.
The reason, don't fight for it because he's innocent of a molested kid.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children.
Factually. Okay.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny. Scientifically, we say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to.
And we're not responsible for Polite. Okay? Polite did that on his own. So this Queen Pen Throne, whatever her name is, every time they always want to mention like he's a protege of Dr. York and blah, blah, blah. No, he freaking is.
Pedophile. You praise and honor a pedophile.
Speaking on Brother Polite, though my name that I often go by is Nisut Amure Senatumre, which is my preference. I'd rather be called Nisut Amure Senatumre. The master teacher, Reverend Dr. Malachi Kobina York, gave me the name, as well as name my family, name my daughter since birth. He's my spiritual master and guide. He's my father. You understand? He's my God. He's my deity, however y'all want to call it. He's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Assassin, you can't detach these crimes done by cult members who praise and honor Dwight York. There's no way you cannot put affiliation on any of these creeps. I just refuse to say their names. This guy here, murdered, starvation, held a person in captivity. They found journals referencing death and ritualistic practices, and literature about the Nawapian cult. You can't separate these creeps from your master, assassin. You can't. Here we go again. You see your master's name at the bottom of the article. He was devoted to the United Nawabian Nation of Moors. Stop playing, assassin. You're doing too much. These people are attached to Dwight and they're following suit. This guy here, hands and feet on a woman. He's a dedicated cult member. You can't separate these monsters from the main monster.
All right? Polite is on his own 2 feet. You feel me? And that's why the title of this show is Polite has DNA evidence against him. Dr. York doesn't. Meaning, people act like they so against child predators all throughout the world, but they only want to associate our case, right, when a celebrity does something bad. In particular, Polite. Okay? Polite used the doctrine to get his way into position. He was brought in by Obar, not by Dr. York. You follow that? And he went out and did his own thing, right? He didn't defend the doctrine with Sarah, with the debate with him against Sarah Sukisetti. So he went on his own thing. Now that he got his ass caught out there, y'all want to link him to Dr. York. The fuck out of here. He's a grown man and he has to pay for his actions. There's a lot of people who are very satisfied, not satisfied insofar as that they didn't get their money back. I'm sure they'd rather have the 20, 50, 70, whatever, how many thousands he conned out of people are. They'd rather have their money back. But nevertheless, the reckoning is here. All right, and he's running out of time. You follow that? And he sounds real fucked up right now, especially on his live stream. So, a lot of people who are covering the Polite issue are doing a good job about that, all except trying to mention him to our tribe. Fuck Polite. Okay? Now he's gonna try to come back to run the right knowledge? I don't think so. No, he's not. He's trying to figure out how he's gonna get out of this shit. Okay? But that's on him. He don't have nothing to do with us or Dr. York. In other words, if people like Queen Pen whoever else is out there. There's so many other people that the minute you mention Polite, they get angry. Or Dr. York, they get angry. You follow that and call him out his name. But when we ask them, where's the DNA evidence? Since y'all do so much fucking research. Where's the DNA evidence? Where? Wait. Where is it? Right? And if you ask the average fool, you say, well, okay, what are the charges? They don't know. So they really full of shit. They not really about freedom, justice, and equality like they say they are. A lot of niggas on Front Street out here, they mad because their doctrine got shut down or they got kicked in the ass by one of us out there propagating or something like that, and they can't take it. So they mad. You know what I mean? And that's part of the spell where they get black people to go against their own leadership. Polite never was a leader. He was a con man from fucking jump.
1990s, it remained a poor and relatively dangerous area with 77 murders, 80 rapes, almost 2,300 robberies in 1990 alone. And that, of course, is just the reported crimes. And this would be the place where Dwight York would get his start, way back in 1970. A place riddled with drugs, crime, where hope of anything getting better on a social level felt very far away.
That shit. Fuck the ghetto. Fuck the hood and fuck the animals that live in that motherfucker. And if you feel like I'm talking to all black people, fuck you too.
Hopelessness and desperation go hand in hand, and if you know anything about cults, they feed on desperation. Much easier to swindle the desperate than the satisfied. 1968, now 27-year-old con artist Dwight York, 7-year-old con artist Dwight York changed the name of his group to the Nubian Islamic Hebrews, and they exchanged their tunics for African robes. Kicking up.
Right, and then Sa Neter had his back, and you could see Sa Neter speak out against Baba whenever he get fucking good and ready. Right? Constantly, he disrespected Prince York to his face, and Prince York ain't do shit about it. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. All right, and they all gonna get theirs. They all gonna get theirs. The only one who had balls to speak up was Umar York. Okay, so that'll get me back to the show Connect the Dots. We'll get into that in a minute. So there's no DNA evidence. So we have to ask them, yo, where's the DNA evidence? There's some other little show on Clubhouse where Goddess T is doing, I can't remember the name of the room, but she's running with a bunch of bitches, a bunch of grown men, but they really a bunch of bitches. They really York Hades. And I love going in there kicking they fucking ass. You know what I'm saying, me? Because when I ask them questions, yo, well, where's the DNA evidence? They lie, oh, there was some third grader that was talking about, they ain't talking about shit. Where's the DNA evidence? And then and then they always give you the same usual suspects. There's only one victim that only come up online, and that's Tariq Noel. And he was lying because he went to the hospital as a youngin' for diarrhea. It's in the My Brother, the Extraterrestrial book. Right? His mother clearly says that he had diarrhea. And if anything was happening to him as a child, that's why I asked him, where's your doctor's examination? He lied. You understand? He was never molested by Dr. York. Right? Where are these other so-called victims? So here's the thing, that where it ties into Connect the Dots now. Okay? Jacob looked pretty bad because they obviously exposed the lies when him and Umkehr had they discussion. And every other discussion, right, that they was breaking down that Jacob had, to put him on the stand, he would have been ate up. So it's obviously that Jacob was not intelligent enough to pull this off by himself. So this is where the family don't want to face the elephant in the room, because they don't want to, right, who are the black devils that helped Jacob, other than Kedar? And that was one of my names. I'm like, God damn, see why I changed that name? I don't want to be associated with Kedar Massenburg. Okay? So, Reneni Amun. Okay? So I'm glad we got it out of that Islamic school to get away from them damn tones. So, Kedar had the money, right? Financed the Florida trip, Jacob lied so bad. Talking about Baba asked him for $2 million. Like, really, Jacob? really. Because if Jacob would have had all the money and this, that, this, and blah, 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 he probably would have never, none of this would have never came up. He would have been too busy making money. So he lied so bad. And it's like that Takina Parham and them, when they went on that Montel Williams show, they did the same thing Jacob did. They told the stories of what Jacob did to them and just said it was Pop that did it to them. They all are liars, and they all gonna get what's coming to them. So who are the black devils that help Jacob to cover it up? And when you mention that with the family, they all run away from it. Because then that confirms what Tabitha Jett is saying. Her angle, what she's bringing forth, and with the other brothers, a step ahead of the sun, what they saying. Oh, so the truth gonna come out eventually. Like I said, they trying to put the fall guy, Jacob is the fall guy, but he did not do it himself. You had to have a lot of black devils to help. The reason why you know is because, right? With all this evidence that they coming up now, blah, 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 Jacob did all this, da, 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 da. How hard would it have been to overturn the conviction in court? But you had black devils helping to keep shit under wraps. You understand? The ones that was working with Jonathan Marks, they was working with the attorneys, the ones that was working to stop the African, all of that, black devils. The white man can't do so, but so much. Y'all give him too much goddamn credit. Okay? Oh, it's connecting the dots, all right, and it's definitely exposing not only Jacob, but the black devils in this tribe that helped him. But y'all scared to face that fact. Y'all run from it. Okay? Truth be told, that's what it is. All right. So my message is to the queen pin that do the thing with the polite thing. Where's the DNA evidence on Dr. York? They got the DNA evidence on polite. They got a scarf and whatever other information. And polite, right? They saying about a plea deal or whatever, or he's gonna take it to trial. Who knows what he's gonna do? But he's definitely under the gun. Now with Baba, there's Dr. York, there's all kinds of bogus things. You understand? That only go to show you that the black devils are haters. They really not standing up for the truth. You understand? They act like they freedom fighters for all people, but they ain't shit. So Goddess T, stop running with them bitches. She might as well roll solo for real, because she cool people. But a lot of them brothers, not all of them, but most of them over there is some bitches, straight up. Okay. Hepet Rahobat. So let's see where we at. What we getting into today?
Talking about sex, it's imperative that we know that we're not just sharing sexual or seminal fluid, call it like it is. DNA is information. We're sharing information with each other.
They don't lie, but what they forget to tell you is people do.
Why is this important? You have something again called horizontal gene transfer, and this is when you can share genes without using sexual means, but an asexual means, outside the convention of the regular sexual efforts to produce an offspring, is when you're dealing with not the vertical aspect, the horizontal aspect, called conjugation, transduction, or transformation. The reason why this is so very important is because when men and women have sex, the man's semen is cerebral spinal fluid. Cerebral means brain, spine, and then it becomes fluid when he ejaculates. So he's giving her brain. Brothers say, I'm getting brain, she's getting brain. And in time, she'll start looking like the man she's having sex with. And this is why a lot of times you see brothers and sisters that's with each other, they look like each other. And this is why a woman could damn near sense when the man she's sleeping with is cheating, or She'll call you right when a woman is thinking about dealing with you, because now she has a psychic connection with her man, because her DNA starts conforming to his DNA in a form of love. So her love for that man makes her submit to his DNA. And this is a metaphysical outlook of conjugation, transduction, and transformation. So being that DNA is information, and when the women exchange fluids with the man, and knowing that semen is cerebral spinal fluid or brain spine fluid, she's taking in data about his mind. She's taking in data about his whole essence. And the more she submits in the form of her love for that man, the more her defenses go down and she conforms to the construct of his DNA. And that connectivity is shown phenotypically. Now when we're talking about sex, it's imperative that we know that we're not just sharing sexual or seminal fluid, called like it is. DNA is information.